Hey everyone, Luke here. Back at you with some updates on my journey from building my bankroll for online Texas Hold'em from 100 to 10,000, and so I recently won a tournament for 320 bucks, $5 buy-in, and I think it was something like a couple hundred players. So I'll show you the hand highlights from that. In general, it's going well. So I don't know if I shared last time, but I won a tournament before for $3,000, and there was something like 1,000 plus players in that one. And I'm starting to take down some more wins these days. So I've got some tips and insights that I think are really making a difference. I think that there are bots on the sites, and you really have to be kind of like insulated from them learning your patterns. So you got to have like a really consistent pattern of how you play, whether you're bluffing or whether you have good cards. So basically, what I do is like I always raise the same pre-flop. Now, if I'm really deep stacked, I'll raise like four big blinds pre-flop. If I've got like 80 big blinds, I start to go 3.5, 50 big blinds, 3, 40 big blinds, 30 big blinds, 2.5. And then when it's like 25 or less, I raise 2 pre-flop. And then when I 3-bet, I 3-bet by like 2.5, whatever they bet. And then when it flops, I'm always just betting a third pot, then the turn 50% pot, and then the river, whatever I feel, whether it's about their stack or my stack. I just try to play it by ear at that point, but try to bet big at that point. Now, if you're bluffing, you can bet like just a little bit of the pot, like let's say like I don't know, 10 or 20% of the pot, and just take a crack because a lot of the time, if you go 3 barrels, that's strong. They think you're strong. They think you're milking them. So you can take down some big pots when you don't have anything on the river, especially if you've been the aggressor and all they're doing is calling. It shows weakness. You got to respect their raises. If they're raising, likely they've got good cards. They're rarely re-raising you when they're bluffing, especially at these small stakes. So these are some of the insights that I'm picking up. Um, and yeah, I'll share a little bit more as I go. Oh, one other key concept that I'm picking up is you have to be a tight, aggressive player. So when you're in the pot, you're the one raising, not calling, because you got so much more fold equity when you're the one raising. And then every few times in a tournament, I bluff 3 streets, and it can be expensive, but usually they get through. I think at least 60 or 70% of the time, your 3 barrel bluff gets through. And that's consistency, right? Because you'll bet that same way even if you've got the good cards. Oh, one more thing is you check raise when you got um, your best hands or your best draws. But I haven't been check raise bluffing very much. Um, and don't be afraid to bet small on the river when you don't have anything, especially if they don't show a lot of aggression, because you can scoop a few pots like that. Defend a lot of big blinds. So anyway, I'll share more as we go through, but basically in terms of progress, I've got my account up to 4,300 now. So I think it's working, and I'll share some hand highlights. Let's jump into it. All right, 3-jack suited. They're limping. I decide to jam all my chips. I mean, I'm really short stacked at this point. I've got suited cards. I don't know if this is the right decision or not, but I actually ended up probably hitting, let's see, or maybe this is where I bust. Oh, I hit my 3, so I got lucky there. Tripled up. Okay, I've got 10s here. This guy limps. I jam with my 15 big blinds. Yeah, I don't mind that play. Better win a little than lose a lot. Oh, he calls with the 5-king. What a bad decision. I had him dominated with my 10s there. He has to hit a king. Yeah, I'm starting to be willing to put in all my chips when I've got 15 or less, and I'm in good spots, or if somebody's limping. You can't be too stingy when you're getting low on chips because, oh, look, this is an easy hand. Not too much action there, so not too much commentary there. No brainer to call with the kings. All right, 4s. So this guy limps. I just checked it. Now I've got a straight draw. a gut shot straight draw. Um, and I actually I check raised him. So you check raise when you got the best your best hands and your best draws. This isn't actually the best draw. So this is as close to a check raise bluff that I'll do. Oh, and then he calls. But now I picked up an open-ended flush draw, so I bet half pot. So this is my pattern, right? On the turn, bet 50% pot. He calls, and amazingly I hit. But I just realized, oh no, never mind. So yeah, I hit a great hand, and so I'm just trying to milk this now. I go all in almost, pretty much, and he folds. I think I should have gone a little less there, just to try to take a bite out of his stack. Um, 5 or 10 big blinds is a big deal at that point. I'm defending with the ace-4 on the big blind, and I hit 2 pair. So this is a check raise. So I'm checking here. Hopefully somebody bets. No betters. So now that they don't like it, I'm gonna go 50% pot here. And he calls, and now the flush comes. But I still want to get value out of this. Oh, another thing that I learned on YouTube the other day. Get value when you've got hands on the river. Like, that flush is not that likely to come. Oh, but then, yeah, so they folded, and then I pretty much picked up a good pot there. He got very minimal because that guy was very short stacked. Yeah, make sure you get value even with your marginal hands on the river. People like to call off. They like to make donations, so don't be afraid of someone having a better hand. This guy's all in with 20 bigs. Yeah, this is a tough decision, but I've got ace queen off. I was the one raising. I called him. But I lost that, so it shot me down. Yeah, that's debatable. I think I like the call, but you're possibly up against a pair, so people can debate that. Definitely love to hear in the chat if anybody has disagreements about my decisions, because I'm here trying to learn. I'm trying to share what learnings that I think I'm getting, and I'm also trying to learn because this is just an amateur poker journey, just to try to figure it out. He calls me with ace-3. I hit the 2, got lucky there. I think I was 60-40 or 65-35 at that point. But with 10 big blinds, you really have to go after it. You can't get down to 5 big blinds because you don't have any more fold equity. You really have to put it in when you get low. Okay, I've got the queens here, and he's limping. I got somebody re-raising me. Oh, did I just call it? I don't know why I just called. Oh no, he just called. And then flop 6-4-9. So low cards. He bets. I re-raise all in. And I'm thinking, this is obviously a strong move, but I'm hoping he's got 8 sevens, 8s, 10s, jacks, ace 9, king 9. Now he's got a 9-5. I really don't think he needs to be betting into this pot, frankly. He should just keep checking and see, because he's exposing himself to just any better hands. So a little bit of a donkey move there. Always happy to pick up a donation. Doubled up with the queens. Let's see, ace king, no brainer, re-raise this guy. Flop comes, I'm going to do a 30% pot. As always, he calls, 50% pot. I'm not going to, I have to, well, now 50% pot is basically putting this guy all in. So, it's a pure bluff, but, it's like, I played strong, right? I re-raised, I 3-bet pre-flop, I bet the first 2 streets, and I'm putting him to a decision for all his chips. I think I heard that in a movie one time. The key thing about poker is put somebody to a decision for all their chips. So you got to be okay with the swings. You got to be willing to throw your weight around. And I only had 2 overs, so if the river came and I was just checking the river, then he would possibly hit a pair and knock me out. So there was a timing aspect to that as well. I've got 10s, raised pre-flop, got the overpair, and I bet big on this one. Okay, the reason why I bet big here is because I'm in early position, and there's 4 players. So you got to bet bigger when you're in early position, so when there's people to act after you. So that kind of changes the pattern of like bet 30% to begin with. So this can be a standard play. Now this guy calls, 2 comes. Now I can't quite bet 50% pot here because I'm running out of chips. you really don't want to have 0 chips or like a very small chips compared to the pot on the river, because then he's just going to call because he's already committed. So that's why I only bet 30% here again. He calls, but now that the pot is 38 and I've got 24, my bet actually has weight. But incredibly, I hit the 10 on the river, so I think I'm just going to try to juice him here. Yeah, I went for, like, to me, the maximum, like that he might call with an 8, but he folded. But nice hand there. Let's see. Aces. Easy. Easy. He calls. I 3-bet. He calls. Oh, he comes up, he flops set on the river. I mean, I'm just trying to get him to call with a jack or a pair of tens or an open-ended. Obviously, he calls and takes and chops me down. It happens. Let's see what else we got here. Jack Queen, early position, min raise, got a call. I'm gonna defend, obviously, and I hit the trips, loving it. I think I'm gonna check raise here probably. I think I've got time to even just check call and trap. Let's see if I just call. Yeah, I check raised. I think I would have had time. The hand was good enough that I could have even seen another card pretty safely, but you rather win a little than lose a lot, so check raising is good with your best hands. Put the rest of it in. He folds. Take a good pot. Ace 4 suited. Just do a min raise because my chips are down. This guy's got 3s. I hit my ace. I do the third pot as usual. He calls. Now he's got a gut shot. I do a half pot. He calls stupidly. And then, am I going to milk it for value? I just checked it. Yeah, I didn't really think I could do any better. A lot of people have aces. So I figured, nope, I can't have any worse hands than me win. I can't have any worse hands than me call if I bet again. But that might go back to the concept of make sure you get value. Thinking back, I bet you I could have got more value off that hand. Well, in this case, I couldn't because, 3s aren't going to call a third street. But anyway, ace 6, 32 bigs. I decide to put them all in. Because when someone's got 12 big blinds, they are tempted to call with queen king, jack king, 10 king. Maybe a pair of 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, I'd be 50%, but there's a lot of fold equity there just for going after the blinds. So, I put them all in with 12 bigs. Obviously, I'm exposed when people have better cards. That's a debatable call, a debatable play, so I'm open to figuring that one out, but I usually try to steal those blinds when people are short stacked. Ace king, he's all in, loving this. Queen 9, hit the ace. No problem. Let's see. Aces against ace 6. He calls. I make it 4. I'm going to get the value off of this. I really think that there's some cases when you're short stacked that you can just flat with the aces and be sneaky about it. But I like to get some money in the pot there. He's got ace 6. I'm going to bet a half pot here. Because the flushes are coming, and also the 3-6-7 really suits his range, so he might be having straights come, so I think that's why I bet some more. He jams with just the 6. That was a donkey move. So definitely knocked him out there. I think we're getting close to the end. I think now it's 3 players left. 10 king against queen queen. He goes in with 15. I'm like the dominant number 1 here. And I hit quads. I'm trying to I hit quads. I thought I was trying to trap him, but I see he's already all in. So anyway, always a good time to hit quads. Let's see here. 3 king versus ace queen. He raises, I re-raise, he jams. This is like a no-brainer for 20 bigs. And he's trying to be aggressive and take down pots. He was actually going all in a bunch. So, and then I took it down, and that's the tournament. So I hope you enjoyed these hand highlights, and I will see you guys next time. Let's see if I have any other things to say about it. Yeah, the bots. You gotta watch the bots. Literally, my stats just started plummeting. Let me just show you. No, I won't show you my stats. Maybe next time. But my stats just started plummeting because I was playing differently when I had good cards versus bluffs and stuff like that. And I was betting bigger when I had good cards and lower when I had bluffs and stuff like that. The bots can really pick up those patterns. And obviously with real humans too, when people start to get to know you, that's the whole thing is you really want your bets to be disguised. You want to be able to play the line the same and really balance your ranges, mix in some bluffs in the same situations that you've got good cards and everything. So that consistency, how I'm playing. Oh, and the other thing about continuation betting on the flop with 30% pot, I think that's really strong because you're committing very little chips to possibly win the pot, and the C bet usually works 60% of the time in my experience. Like it's completely a printing money kind of play to just C bet almost everything, and C bet small. And then when you progressively increase 50% of the pot on the turn, 80 or 100% of the pot on the river, it just shows consistent strength, right? So you want to be the one swinging. You want to be the one raising, not calling off on a speculative bet. So some recent learnings, and hope you're enjoying this little documentary of my journey up to 10,000. Let's see what happens if I get there.